vola anguela o veteronugu, ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti ni nambandu na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nanreke ngo sa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nalang go sa mundo atibio ng Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry, yang melambasa. Do barongo nga na Bula FM, nambandu.
Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
In the news tonight, FNPF's multi-million-dollar investment in EFL. Alleged drug man has bail ruling deferred. And you'll have to wait a little bit longer for new passports.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Fiji National Provident Fund has bought 20% of the shares in Energy Fiji Limited, worth $220 million. With EFL valued at over $1.1 billion, this latest move is being described as a step in the new direction. Speaking at the signing ceremony for the partial divestment of shares in EFL, Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum says this marks a milestone achievement for both entities. Ali Kimbia with the details.
With 44% of EFL shares available for divestment, Said Qayyum says tough negotiations took place to ensure a successful outcome.
FNPF now, of course, will sit on the board of EFL. They'll have at least one board member as long as they own 15% of the shares in EFL. EFL will continue with its non-commercial obligations, but capped to the value of $22 million, which is the figure that EFL spent in non-commercial obligation space in 2018.
Said Qayyum says this is a phenomenal step for the energy sector and will open up capital markets to allow more private sector investment. For the FNPF, buying the shares shows the enormous progress the fund has made over the years.
We trust that we will bring the value that you expect us to bring in. We will grow EFL to become a true regional model for utility. The Minister has emphasized that there are opportunities outside Fiji.
With 24% of their shares still on the market, EFL is assuring more return for investors willing to come on board.
And this is where we will see a huge amount of return for the investors that will come through. And this is something that I think has not been factored fully by many investors.
Meanwhile, the FNPF has stated it will continue to look for long-term investment opportunities to benefit members. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Former civil lawyer Shazran Abdul Latif's counsel today filed a submission that the drugs found in his client's house belonged to someone else. This is after Latif appeared in court for his bail hearing, charged with being in possession of illicit drugs for the 5th time. Catherine Krishna files this report.
Latif was arrested following a raid at his Nailuva Road home in Suva last Wednesday. In the house, police say they found a white substance which later tested positive for methamphetamine, as well as dried leaves that tested positive for marijuana. In court today, Latif's defense lawyer claimed the drugs were found in a room of the house where someone else had been staying. He also argued his client was not charged and produced in court within 48 hours. The prosecution objected to bail, submitting that the accused had been released 4 times and currently faces 5 charges of being in possession of illicit drugs. They also submitted that the accused had reoffended each time he was released and has made a mockery of the judicial system, while the likelihood of his reoffending again was high. After 30 years as a lawyer, Latif's practicing license was cancelled by the Chief Magistrate in April. He has been further remanded to next Wednesday when his bail ruling will be delivered. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Director Immigration Nemani Vuniwanga today revealed that the e-passports that were set to be released next Monday will now be released at a later date. In a press conference in Suva this afternoon, Vuniwanga highlighted that the first 5,000 e-passports will leave Germany for Fiji tomorrow. He adds once the new system and books arrive into the country, immigration officials will undergo a familiarization training before the books are issued. Vuniwanga says the books will be ready for distribution by mid-September. The immigration director says that to date, there are around 9,000 pending passport applications.
Hopefully towards the first week of September or mid-September that we will be actually issuing books. But other than that, that is where we are at the moment. It is very unfortunate that due to some logistical issues from our supplier, we weren't able to deliver the launching of the e-passport on the 26th.
In the wake of recent horrific domestic abuse cases, the Fiji women's rights movement believes there is an epidemic of violence against women in the country. In the last 3 months, 4 women aged between 19 and 44 were allegedly murdered by their partners. In one of these cases, the victim was pregnant, while in another 2 cases, 6 children are now without a mother. Pranita Prakash reports the Fiji Women's Crisis Centre has recorded more than 295 domestic violence cases in just 6 months.
The Fiji women's rights movement has strongly condemned the horrific and brutal killing of women in intimate partner violence, saying enough is enough.
What is horrifying for us in FWRM and the women's movement is that in a very short span of time, we've had 4 such deaths. And that is absolutely unacceptable for us, and for us to know that in the calculated ways in which these murders have taken place. And there's no reason to accept these, and we have to work together to make sure this doesn't happen.
Nalini Singh says people need to realize that violence is not a solution.
There has to be a firm realization that violence is not the response. When we feel slated or uncomfortable, or as if that somebody has done you wrong. There has to be ways in which men, especially because men are usually the perpetrators, are able to speak about this and seek the services.
Fiji Women's Crisis Centre Coordinator Shamima Ali has labelled such perpetrators bullies.
It's really shocking that this kind of things are happening, but women are at the most risk when they decide to leave a bad relationship.
AFWRM research conducted in 2017 indicates that it takes women over 2.5 years to report domestic violence. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Complaints lodged to the Fiji Corrections Service by inmates' families and friends are attended to professionally and appropriate responses are made. This was highlighted by the Commissioner, Commander Francis Keane, while presenting on the topic of human rights for prisoners during the Regional Legal Aid Conference in Natandola. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
Elaborating on the topic of human rights for prisoners, the Fiji Corrections Service Commissioner stated that all correction centers have barrack commanders who are the first point of contact for any complaint or request.
Prisoner disciplinary procedure is attended to professionally whenever the need arises. Accessibility to legal aid and guidance is always available. This support comes from the prisoner's private lawyers, judicial visits, and also visits by the Legal Aid Commission.
Commander Keane also noted that the Fiji Human Rights Anti-Discrimination Commission continues to provide referrals to the Fiji Corrections Service on the complaints from inmates. Speaking on the topic of safeguarding the rights of suspects, Assistant Police Commissioner Itendra Nair says the introduction of recording of caution interviews was a challenge within the force.
I was born into this tradition and culture of recording caution interview face-to-face, seated with suspects with pen, ink, and paper. We are now moving away from that. So that was the little bit of resistance, and that's where it makes our officers much more professional in carrying out their duties. No shortcuts.
The first hour procedure, ladies and gentlemen, demonstrates partnership and collaboration between the Fiji Police Force and the Legal Aid Commission. Our first, where defense lawyers that were initially seen as enemies are now friends of the police. Why? Because they've realized the importance of working in collaboration, because their police officers are safeguarded as well against false allegations.
Experiences and topics that have been discussed over the 3-day conference have been critical to the participants in implementing the outcome in the daily work. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Up ahead, nightclub patrons turning cashless. And popular band launches new album. Details after the break.
hit. Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Given the increasing number of robberies in Suva, many Fijians carry only their debit or credit cards when going out to nightclubs. The Down Under pub says people are aware of the lurking criminal elements and choose to purchase drinks through their FPOS machines. Kelly Vadala reports.
Carrying large sums of cash increases one's risk of becoming a victim of a robbery.
With the current state of the robberies and that, it's a good thing. We've got, a couple of machines in each bar. Much better to bring your card, leave your wallets at home, because to replace your photo IDs, your licenses and everything like that, we find empty wallets in the cisterns of the toilets. We're instant upstairs.
Down Under Pub Fiji Director Caroline Wainingolo says from a business perspective, they prefer customers use their cards.
It's easier for us to trace our sales and you get less cash shortages and stuff. And it's also good for the customers, safer for them not to carry cash around, because in case they walk down on the street, if they lose their card, it doesn't matter. How will that person know their PIN code and stuff,
There's been a tremendous feedback from the public regarding police operations, but the force says consistency is key.
The challenge for us is just to maintain the consistency of our presence in the city, especially in Suva, where there were lots of complaints that have been coming in.
And in an effort to tackle the illicit drug problem, nightclub operators are now doing spot checks on patrons entering their premises. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Methodist Church of Fiji has highlighted that rape, aggravated robberies and drug cases are the top 3 offences that lands most of its members in prison. Fiji Corrections Service Chaplain Reverend Josefa Tikonatambua says the church is alarmed by the increasing number of members being incarcerated over the years. Delivering his presentation at the annual Methodist Conference yesterday, Tikonatambua revealed 685 members of the congregation are serving time, compared to 654 last year. Methodist Church Communications Secretary Wilfred Rengunamanda says they've been urged to incorporate teachings that will help solve the issue in their sermons.
The last few days there was a presentation in our president wanting, asking that when we preach, when we prepare our sermon, let us not forget the social issues here. Incorporate the social issues, incorporate issues, contextualize our sermons that it addresses these issues.
The Real Estate Agents Licensing Board will introduce exams for its key players involved in real estate, which includes agents, salespeople and branch managers. The Licensing Board has discovered many agents lack the right qualifications to work in the real estate sector. Kritika Kumar reports.
It's been found that some real estate agents are not following the law due to poor knowledge about the sector. Currently, there are no qualification requirements in place to become a real estate agent.
Some of the salesperson maybe driving taxis or doing some other works without having much knowledge on the Real Estate Act. They become agent after they have been there for 3 years as salesperson.
Real B Compliance and Monitoring Officer Vinal Singh says they've started conducting spot checks from this month.
Under the Act, there are certain roles and responsibilities of the real estate agents as well, whereby they need to abide by the laws. And certain documents we go in around and check, for example, listing agreements. We have our MOUs with FOCA as well, whereby those listing agreements needs to be stamped.
As of last week, Real B has conducted spot checks on 68 agents. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
From Fiji to the world, it's the debut album launched today by local band Inside Out. The popular boy band has been one of the mainstays of the revival of live music in the capital and across the country. In addition to launching their album, the band also signed up with the Demorta Group of companies to become a regular feature of their band nights over the next 12 months. Maggie Boyle with the story.
The 5-year-old band Inside Out dropping their first album.
These tracks have been with us for
from when we started Inside Out. Some of these songs we just wrote last year and some we composed this year. The whole album speaks about our journey and all our experiences.
The music video is an ode to culture and a personal reflection of the lead singer who composed the original song with his father's help.
It's a lot about where I come from, Navuno Watukaloko, and also about our original, the origins of us, the Itauke in Fiji. You know, there's a lot of history. People say that, you know, oh, we come from Ra, we come from Nakovandra, and this track actually speaks about the origins of Fiji, which is from the Nakovandra range.
Meanwhile, for the Demora Group of companies, it's an opportunity to better the local music scene.
Our main aim is to support local music, specifically when it comes down to protecting their rights. Piracy is a big issue, as we all know it. We are very, there's a campaign that we're working with, we will launch very shortly on this. It's called Play Local, Buy Local.
Inside Out's album is now available on music streaming platforms with monthly performances scheduled for Demora City. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
And it's business time now with Koroi.
Thank you, Jackie. Coming up, local business house goes frozen. And in growing Fiji, Port Ndenarau looks at expansion. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulalo Bagh. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है। हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता। गौल टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Local company Food Processors Limited has launched new frozen agricultural products. Operations Manager Rupali Ban says the latest inclusions are frozen cassava, frozen taro leaves, frozen pumpkins and frozen jackfruit. Ban says launching these new products is a milestone for the company. Minister for Agriculture Dr. Mahendra Reddy has highlighted that the government will continue to support Fijian-made products.
Now there's a lot of busy episodes in people's life. So a convenience choice of foods needs to be provided. So this is what we have offered. We have gone back to the market, we have surveyed the market, we have seen what the market people, what is needed. There's no time with the ladies and the gents to go home and peel and pack the food.
And we want to take over that particular market. Not only we want to take over that market, but we also want to grow that market of consumption for frozen vegetables. So we would be supporting and leveraging.
The Fijian High Commission in New Zealand is actively trying to secure more sports for Fijians under the Seasonal Workers Scheme. High Commissioner Filimoni Wangambada says he and his team have been in negotiations with a number of New Zealand businesses. He adds that Fijian workers have made a positive impact since the scheme was opened up to local employees.
We've seen our numbers grow from 30 about 3 years ago now to over 300, and it's increasing. So that is one, and we've been going around talking to employers to employ our Fijian workers because they are new to the market, they are unknown, so some of them are a bit reluctant to employ them. But over the years, we've built that relationship. They are asking for more.
Shoran is now here with the latest from the money markets.
Looking at the latest in the Forex market, the US Federal Reserve Annual Economic Symposium began today. Investors will be watching for signals from Jerome Powell about what will happen at the Fed's September meeting. With global recession fears growing and bond yields tumbling, this week's gathering is one of the most anticipated in years. Meanwhile, the pound sterling got a bit of boost overnight. There seems to be hope for a resolution to Brexit negotiations before the end of October. German Chancellor Angela Merkel hinted that a compromise on issues surrounding the Irish border backstop may be found. This reinforced the expectations that a deal can be done. Closer to home, New Zealand's second quarter retail sales came in the spotlight. It grew 0.2% against the 0.7% for the same period last year.
And that's all from HFC Bank for this week. Finaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. With world markets remain cautious and confused, the Fiji dollar rose against the Chinese yuan, fell versus the US dollar and rose against the Aussie and the Kiwi dollars. It slipped slightly against the Kina, Euro and the Yen. Now the commodities were on the descent. Oil prices dropped, settling at $55 a barrel. Gold was down at $1,495 per ounce, and silver slipped to $17.08 per ounce. In growing Fiji, more retail shops, facilities for guests and apartments are on the expansion list earmarked for Port Denarau Marina. The port, which is a transportation hub for around 65% of all tourists to Fiji, is only going to get bigger as it heads into its 20th year of service. Managing Director Nigel Skaggs says the new developments have already begun.
We are building new facilities, reception facilities and laundry facilities, showers, etc. for our guests. We're expanding our offices, and then hopefully over the next year or two we have a large future development site in the middle of the marina where we're currently looking at building some more shopping malls and also some apartments as well.
That's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Koroi, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Tueli Vindiri rates Flying Fijians highly. And 4 Fijians in Wallabies World Cup squad. This and more coming up.
Natango Maria, Maramani Waya Manatuya Sawa, Awetikitunde Nandi, Yaundo Marata, Canavarro, and Radio Fiji 1.
Yawa Asna Vatili, Yawa Maga Monica. Tondo Barro Vale, Bonardoma Viti Lambasa.
Bula, Natango Prosa Garce, Goer Kraki, the Televio Navarro and Radio Fiji 1, Nadomi Vit. Natango Chanebukia, Omoni Namosi, and the Taleta Navarro and Radio Fiji 1, Nadomi Vitisu.
Radio Fiji 1, Nandomo.
The Flying Fijians may unleash something special at the Rugby World Cup in Japan next month. Captain Dominico Wanganimburotu is not revealing much, while former All Blacks winger Tueli Vindiri believes Fiji is indeed holding something back. Aquila Dama with this report.
Former Flying Fijians and All Blacks winger Tueli Vindiri believes Fiji can do well at the Rugby World Cup next month and says John McKee and the team may be hiding something.
If my theory, if my understanding is right, I think they're still hiding their best for the World Cup, but I hope they do, because against Australia and against Wales it will not be easy, but if they can hold on, if they can contain the power of the Australian pack and the Wales pack, I think we will do well in the World Cup.
Flying Fijians captain Dominico Wanganimburotu says they may or may not be showing everything in their performances so far, but only time will tell.
We might be hiding, but I can't really comment on that. And you just gotta wait and see. At the moment, we just focused on, as I said before, just what we need to know before going into the games against Tonga next week.
Whether everything has been revealed or not, Tueli Vindiri says the forwards hold the key because our backline can strike anytime from anywhere.
So no one in the world can beat us in the decks. We're very interesting and we've got a lot of pace and a strong midfield, and if we can do that and we operate and give them a good forward ball, we will kill any team we play in the World Cup.
Fiji will play Australia in its first World Cup pool match on the 21st of next month. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Fiji Airways Flying Fijians flanker Viliame Mata says being part of the Rugby World Cup squad has further improved his rugby. Mata, who is one of 3 Olympic gold medalists in the team, wants to add another piece of history to his name. Save Wanga with this report.
Known for his superior offloads, Flying Fijians flanker Viliame Mata says playing for the Edinburgh club in Scotland has made him a better player.
Yeah, Edinburgh Rugby has been grateful, has been putting in a big program for myself, which helped me improve in my rugby skills, and so as coaches and staff of the Flying Fijians.
The Pro 14 player of the season says that playing in the World Cup will be a different feeling. Mata has made 12 appearances for the Flying Fijians and he expects high-intensity rugby in their first match against Australia.
Club rugby, professional rugby would be different from the World Cup. The intensity will be really high, so we think they're going to be a physical and a hard team to cater for, but we're looking forward for a strong challenge against Wales.
Meanwhile, prop Penny Ravai knows the tough challenge that lies ahead as he is still fighting for his spot in the final team. Ravai, who is the first and only international prop to have played in the World 7 Series, knows only 5 out of the 6 props in the squad will go to the World Cup.
It's a lot of competition for the props, especially as the brother years they work really hard and push everyone into another level for the best, for the coaches to pick them to go to the World Cup. So I think it's going to be a decision for the coach. All the props are really best and very fit.
2 players on the different ends of the scale, but with one common goal, and that is to help the Flying Fijians soar high. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
The Wallabies have unveiled their World Cup squad with a few surprises. 4 Fijians have forced their way into the 31-member squad: Samu Kirevi, Isinai Sarani, Tevita Kurindrani and Marika Koroimbete. All Blacks wing Reko Ioane has reassured fans that he's okay. After being dropped from the last Bledisloe test, Ioane will return to provincial rugby this weekend for Auckland. Hawke's Bay have leapt to the top of the championship standings with a comprehensive bonus point win over Otago in the Mitre 10 Cup in New Zealand. And it was third-choice All Blacks halfback Brad Weber who stood out for the Magpies. Despite not having much training this week, the Nasinu football side is still hopeful for its match against Nandi in their Vodafone Premier League clash tomorrow. Nasinu, who will welcome back some of their key players, aim to maintain their unbeaten record against Nandi.
We have boys, the players that don't gain weight so quickly. We have, except for 1 or 2, but the rest, it's very hard for them to gain weight so quickly. So we have this type of players in the team, which we can use them as our weapon for this game against Nandi.
Australian Olympic gold medalist and swimming legend Shane Gould is excited to be part of the 2019 Ocean Swim Fiji. This is the second year for the event, with swimmers from New Zealand, Australia, Singapore and the US confirmed to participate. Gould, who started her swimming career at the Nandi Swimming Club, also has plans to give back to the local communities. She'll be conducting a few swimming clinics with her husband for local clubs. The 63-year-old will also work closely with Ocean Swim Fiji to raise money for a water education project for villages.
For 15 years, my husband Milton and I have been coming here to enjoy Fijian life, enjoy Fijian people, and share our knowledge of water safety and swimming skills with the local people. So it's wonderful to be able to partner with Scott and Ocean Swims Fiji for this year, and so we can further our work with water safety and swimming skills.
That's it from Sports Tonight in New Media. Look at the pros and cons of taking selfies for social media uploads. That's coming up.
रहता है, हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोचक सुनता, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगवा लेबू लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2, देश की धड़कन।
In New Media tonight, are you one of those who likes to take photos for social media? So the question is, what do you prefer, selfie or a posy? B60 has more. Weather time now with our favorite lady, Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. We have Friday on board and Fridays are never bad. The day wasn't smooth, it started off gloomy and rainy but settled later. Now to the west, what could possibly be sunshine here? Like they say, the weather here is one hottest. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, sunshine and rain, more light showers expected. And up north, light showers expected overnight. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate seas. For the tides, high tide at 12:13 a.m. with low tide at 6:40 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:20. For tomorrow, shopping day looks fine and clear. Tomorrow's temps, it looks pretty cool in the high 20s. And looking further on to Sunday, great day to sleep in and relax and just feel the weekend ending. And it's back to you, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should every household fly the Fiji flag from now and during the Rugby World Cup?
Rugby runs in the blood of the Fijians. And I, as the Minister of the Church, I think the Fijians should fully support our team to this World Cup.
Yes, I think we should put the flag to show our support to the very good flying Fijian team.
Yes, we should to show our support.
Yes, we should do that just to encourage the team and the players, and we should show our patriotism to our country.
Yeah, why not? Let's support Fiji.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a photographer has captured shots of something that we can only sort of wonder about. Check this out as an eagle and a fox get friendly. Well, sort of.
It seems like something that might only happen in an animated family film. But this photographer captured an eagle and fox getting along. Well, slightly. Guillermo Dominguez Arteaga captured this duo in the Spanish mountains. Arteaga got the necessary permits to leave meat out to feed them in order to get some great pics. The photographer waited in a hiding spot for the right moment to snap away, and sure enough, the fox and eagle came roaming into the area. Guillermo said the fox knew he was there, but the eagle wasn't aware of his presence. He witnessed both the fox and eagle defending their territory as they ate. The fox at one point even bit the eagle's tail, but eventually the animals looked like they were able to set aside their differences. Arteaga said to SWNS, "In the end, I think they both understood their forces were similar and it would be better to respect each other."
Recapping the main stories for tonight, FNPF's multi-million-dollar investment in EFL, alleged drug man has bail ruling deferred, and new passports delayed further. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking, are you happy with the 32-member Flying Fijians team named for the Rugby World Cup? Visit the FBC website to answer. And on to our shot of the day, a usual sight at our resorts, fire dancing to entertain guests. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. Follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Form. I studied at Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Asinate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makereta from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.